Hello, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Lisa Jett. I am the Program Consultant from the Division of Assessment and Accountability Support, working with the K-Screen program. Today, we will be conducting our Refresh K-Screen training, including Infinite Campus and OMS. Let's get started. Here are the objectives for today. This training will provide updates and procedures for the 2022-2023 upcoming school year. This training will provide updates in the ordering process, timeline, training requirements, the Brigance Screener, Infinite Campus, the Online Management System, or OMS, and resources available to districts for successful K-Screen process. Let's look at the ordering process. The Office of Assessment and Accountability, in conjunction with Curriculum Associates, have designed and implemented a Google form for the 2022-2023 K-Screen order process. District Brigance contacts or district assessment coordinators will submit orders to Curriculum Associates through KDE with the use of a Google form. This new order form will be found on both the Curriculum Associates Kentucky and the Common Kindergarten Entry Screener web pages. This is a screenshot of the Curriculum Associates Kentucky web page. Here, you will find links for ordering materials as well as training videos. The training information links will take you to the training clips that will be referenced later in this presentation. Under ordering, you will find links to the order form as well as directions on how to complete the order form. As mentioned previously, this order form can be found on both the Curriculum Associates and Common Kindergarten Entry Screener web pages. Once you click on the link, you'll be asked to provide some demographics. After entering your email and DAC information, you will use the drop-down box to select the district you are placing the order for. Once you click the drop-down arrow, begin typing the name of the district. This will help you efficiently locate your school district. Next, you will need to click the hyperlink to download the form. Once downloaded, you will need to enable editing before saving the file as kscreen _ your district name _ order _ form, and it must be an XLSX file. Now you will begin entering information to order the materials needed for the upcoming screening window. Please choose the district from the menu, as typing the district name will not pre-populate the appropriate school information. Once the district is chosen, click the One Quantities tab on the bottom of the spreadsheet, as indicated with the arrow. This will look very similar to last year's order form. In the first column, you should see all of the elementary schools within your district containing kindergarten students. Here is an example from Bullitt County. Let's take a closer look at the first half of the Quantities tab. The first three columns of the order form gather information concerning each school's kindergarten population. The second column is where you will need to enter how many new kindergarten classrooms will open for the 2022-2023 school year. New is really how many additional classrooms are needed that were not existing last year. For example, if you have additional kindergarten students because this is a larger class than normal, or you are over cap and have to increase the number of classrooms, then this is what would be defined as new. If you have a new building that is opening and consolidation is happening, where two schools are closing and moving to one new location, this isn't our definition of new. Those classrooms existed before, but are simply changing location. I encourage you to use your current enrollment numbers when answering the "How many kindergartners do you expect to screen in total?" question. The second half of the Quantities tab is where K-Screen materials are ordered. First, you will indicate if new data sheets are required for the upcoming screening window. If you are administering the K-Screen through the use of iPads, you will type No when asked if you need new data sheets. Before placing the order for data sheets, see if you have any available from last year. If so, you will want to utilize those first. This may help decrease the amount of data sheets the school needs to order for the upcoming school year. When placing your order for data sheets, it is important to keep in mind that they are bundled into packs of 15. If you have a classroom with 24 students enrolled, you will need two packs of data sheets for that classroom. Lastly, the form asks you to indicate how many sets of Spanish directions each school will need for the upcoming screening window. The Office of Assessment and Accountability and Curriculum Associates recommend having one copy of Spanish directions per school. These may be reused each year. When you are finished entering data into the Quantities tab, click the Shipping tab at the bottom of the form. In the Shipping tab, use the drop-down arrow to indicate where the materials will be shipped. You can choose either each individual school, the district, or a central location, such as a warehouse. If you choose each individual school, you'll be directed to this page. On this page, indicate the contact person and a 10-digit phone number of the delivery recipient. Lastly, include any delivery notes pertinent to the shipment, such as the days when the recipient will be in the facility to accept the delivery. If you choose to have the K-Screen materials shipped to the district building, you'll be directed to this section. Here, you will need to click into each box below the title to enter the corresponding information. If your materials will be shipped to a central location, you will complete the information on this page. When you have completed entering the order information for your district, be sure to save your data before exiting out. Once you have saved your order form, you will then upload the XLSX form here. This Google form will only accept XLSX documents. After you submit the K-Screen order form, you will be directed to this page. Once all information is entered and the Google form is submitted, you should receive a confirmation of the completed order. If you have any further questions, feel free to contact me at lisa.jet@education.ky.gov. If you have any questions about shipments, please contact Terry Pica at fulfillmentops, all one word, at cainc.com. Let's take a few moments to look at the proposed timeline for the upcoming school year. Curriculum Associates has been accepting orders since early March and will continue until April 1st. These materials should arrive in early May, so your trainings can begin in June. Please take note of the August 1st date. This is a projected date of when OMS accounts will be available. Please refer to DAC emails to ensure that this date has or has not changed. You will also notice that districts will have access to K-Screen data reporting in December. The scores will then be released in the fall with the fall release of state assessment data. One of the most important tools you have for the K-Screen process is the implementation guide. This is revised every year and linked on our Common Kindergarten Entry Screener webpage. Encourage your school level administrators to refer to this guide with any questions concerning the K-Screen. Send feedback about topics missing from this guide to me. I want to make it as beneficial as possible for Kentucky's educators. Let's move into training requirements. New district trainers must attend the 6-hour training. The the 6-hour Training the Trainers module presented by Curriculum Associates. If you look back at the timeline, you will notice that we have one scheduled for March 25th. The registration link was sent out in a K-Screen update. We will be accepting registrations until March 23rd. We will also have a Training the Trainers module on July 22nd. New teachers administering the screen need to attend a 3-hour training provided by the district trainer. It is acceptable to provide these virtually. Experienced district trainers are required to watch this refresh training video that you're currently viewing. Experienced teachers administering this screen must receive a 1-hour refresher session that is provided by their district trainer. Lastly, all new and experienced data entry staff must view the training materials posted on the Common Kindergarten Entry Screener website. Experienced district trainers, please remember you may use the K-Screen refresh or portions of it in your district trainings. Each year, anyone who administers, manages, or enters data is required to take some form of training. It is required that you keep sign-in sheets and agendas of each training on file for 1 year, or from one training until the next. There is an implementation agreement that also must be signed by each person trained. This is located on our website and in the Implementation Guide, Appendix A. Let's move into the Brigance Screener. First, you need to determine your screening window. As you start to order materials, it is also important to plan your screening window. The window begins no earlier than 15 calendar days before the first day of school, and it cannot exceed the 30th instructional day. Keep in mind, all data must be entered into the OMS and Infinite Campus within 15 days after the window closes, but no later than October 15th. If you use the Brigance to pre-screen students in early registration, those results cannot be used, as the screen was not administered during the official window. You will have to rescreen. It is important to ensure if you screen students before school begins, you are within this window, as this is regulated by law. Be sure not to plan screening that conflicts with the district or school professional development days. Take a moment and write down some notes about your screening window and when your data entry window would close. Now let's look at collecting prior setting data. This is something schools could be doing now or in the spring, but regardless, it should be on your radar. If not, make sure to collect prior setting data during kindergarten kickoff events, open houses, etc. A letter and form located on our K-Screen website or in the implementation guide asks parents or guardians to let us know what setting the enrolling students were in for the year prior to kindergarten. That may be a home, private sitter, daycare, preschool, Head Start, or kindergarten. If you are not receiving parent input, pull rosters from preschool and Head Start to use in conjunction with parent forms. This information can be collected at any time. Continuing from last year, repeating kindergarten students will be screened again, just as all other students. Their prior setting data will be recorded as kindergarten and Infinite Campus. Repeating kindergarten students will ultimately have 2 entries for prior settings, one for last year and one marked kindergarten for this year. Let's look at the staff file. The District Assessment Coordinator, your DAC, will access the spreadsheet from the KDE Secure Web Applications site. Choose Student Data Detail in either Excel or PDF. The staff file is included in one zip file. It will be named SD22 underscore district number underscore K underscore district name underscore with the district number. If you are unable to access the KDE Secure Application site, check with your WAPOC and the KDE Help Desk. The KDE Help Desk can be reached at 564-2002. Your district spreadsheet will be pre-populated with the information submitted for the 2021-2022 school year. Please review and make any corrections or additions as needed. Then email the updated staff file to KDE Assessment. This must be completed by July 1st. More information will be provided in the April K-Screen update. Once you have ordered materials, you have completed the trainings, and the staff files are submitted, you are ready to screen. This is a list of items each individual screening student needs. Feel free to use this slide if you review the notes on core assessments found in the implementation guide. It's not required, but could be a helpful recalibration if staff who administer screening haven't reviewed this or had a chance to discuss the items in a while. Remember, it is crucial to abide by the directions exactly as written in the manual. Maintain consistency. Screen all students exactly the same way. Adhere to the discontinue points. It may be helpful to place Post-it notes as tabs on the places in the K-screen for quick reference. Make sure you review the implementation guide before beginning, and you may want to keep it handy as a quick reference point when administering the screener, scoring the screener, and entering data into Infinite Campus. You can provide the self-help and social-emotional form to parents, or you can complete the self-help social-emotional skills through interview if you think that will be more productive. The script is in your training manual. Keep a list of those students that haven't returned this, as it is important to administer this during the window. If after multiple attempts to collect you still don't have this, the teacher may complete it. Please ensure that each item has a response. Screening using iPads. This is a method some may use to enter scores directly into the online management system. This would only be an option after mid-August when OMS is live. We will let districts know when the OMS is live and operational. Teachers would need to have a backup tablet or iPad on hand in the event of technical difficulty. The results are entered as the student is screened. If this method is used, the student results must be printed and placed in the student's permanent record. This is a vital part of the screen, and the data must be entered during the testing window. Teachers also need to be ready and trained in the paper format should the internet connection fail. A new update for the 2022-2023 school year. The Office of Assessment and Accountability will not accept non-participation requests for the K-Screen. The K-Screen is a screening tool designed to help districts quickly and effectively identify children's strengths and needs, thus allowing educators to plan individualized instruction and identify students who might need tiered instruction through the use of the Kentucky System of Intervention. This is not a summative assessment. We often have questions regarding nonverbal students. When considering nonverbal students, it is important to remember that this is a screener, not an assessment with accountability. It is okay if students cannot respond correctly to every prompt. Teachers can still gain a lot of valuable information during the screen. After consultation with our accommodation specialist and consulting the Brigance manual, our guidance is to at least attempt the test, possibly enlisting the assistance of someone familiar with the child's communication methods. If a student cannot answer something, mark the data sheet appropriately and move to the next item. Now that we've looked at the K-Screener itself, let's take a look at Infinite Campus. In order for the Brigance data to be entered into the online management system, Infinite Campus information must be set up correctly. Data files are extracted from Infinite Campus and create files in the OMS for student assignment and assessment data. It is very important for communication and collaboration to happen between your district IC contact, the person that will enter the new kindergarten data into Infinite Campus, and you to ensure things are set up correctly from the beginning. This will save a lot of time and stress during the screening window. We developed a document titled the Infinite Campus K-Screen Reference Guide that will be helpful when setting up and troubleshooting issues with the online management system and Infinite Campus. This can be found in Appendix M of the Implementation Guide. This, along with the Implementation Guide, should prove helpful when setting up students in Infinite Campus. Here are a few online management system data entry common occurrences that we run into. Please make sure students are assigned to a teacher in the OMS. The class should have the teacher class location listed in the user profile. Make sure the correct date of birth is entered in Infinite Campus, or the student will not show up in the OMS. Please be sure to use the student locator in Infinite Campus to check to see if a kindergarten student has had a prior enrollment somewhere else, as to not create another record for that student. Please do not assume that a young child would not have had a prior enrollment. Also, if a student withdraws from your district, make sure to end date the enrollment. We had multiple cases last year, and it caused those districts a headache. When entering a student's name, remember to use the suffix field. Please do not place junior in the last name field. And lastly, check each kindergarten teacher's email address in Infinite Campus. If it's blank, a maiden name, or etc., it won't show up in OMS. Also, no private email addresses. It must be the district email. Prior setting data should be collected prior to the screening process. It is important to collect this information during kickoff events, kindergarten open houses or camps, and can be placed in registration packets. This information is entered into Infinite Campus. Data entry clerks must watch the videos associated with prior settings. These are located on KDE's Common Kindergarten Entry Screener webpage. When entering the data, it is important to only account for the setting 1 year prior. Repeating kindergarten students will have a prior setting of kindergarten. Let's move into the online management system. The Online Management System, or OMS, is the online tool for entering Brigance data. Both core assessment data and social emotional and self-help skills will be entered into the OMS. The OMS resets each year and all data will be pulled from Infinite Campus into OMS. The staff file that is due July 1st is the first step in Curriculum Associates setting up the OMS accounts for your district and schools. Once Curriculum Associates receives that file, they will set up the school and class lists, as well as the user list and teacher list. It is important to check that 1, are all schools listed and teachers at each level, and 2, are all teachers listed and are the email addresses correct? Please make sure that the district email address is listed, not a personal email address. This is a sample of a school class list. Here you will see Adair County, the district, is listed as level 1. Adair County Primary is a school. It is listed as level 2. Level 3 would be the teachers that belong to the building. We have left their names blank. It is also important to check the user list. These users are the teachers, data entry clerks, and administrators that need access to the OMS. It is important that the email addresses are the correct district email as well. Infinite Campus feeds data to the online management system. The staff file is pulled from Infinite Campus to populate the class and user list in the OMS. Every week during the screening season, a new student file from Infinite Campus will be uploaded into OMS. Due to the 1-week lag between syncing district and state editions of Infinite Campus, the changes made are not usually seen for 2 weeks sometimes. That's why it's critical for schools to communicate with you about missing or incorrect students in the OMS immediately. The weekly refresh doesn't work for users and classes, only students. This is also the only way students are uploaded into OMS. KDE cannot add or delete students from the online management system. Before contacting me, please check Appendix M in the implementation guide to troubleshoot entering data into Infinite Campus and OMS. Here is an OMS update for the school year to ensure data inaccuracies. In an effort to avoid data inaccuracies, districts should not submit self-help and social-emotional skills data in OMS if there is no core screen data being entered for the student. You should save the self-help social-emotional data in OMS, but please do not submit it. Let's look at what a student profile looks like in OMS. Here's a fictional student, Lucy Johnson. To begin entering data for Lucy, users will click the Enter New Screening Data on the right side of the screen, middle of the page. This is the only time you will choose this feature, only when no screening information is entered. The core assessment data page will come up and users will enter the student results from the student data sheet, or if you are screening with tablets, you will enter data as you assess. You have a cancel, save, and submit to score buttons. It is important to save your information as you go along. Remember, only press submit to score if the student has both the core data and the self-help social emotional data fully entered. If duplicate data is created, there's guidance on how to clean this up on our website. The same applies for the self-help and social emotional scales. After entering that data, you will hit Save. Once all data is entered, Submit must be clicked on Core Assessment tab and the Self-Help Social Emotional tab. Many times, those entering the screening data fail to finish entering all data, or they enter everything and forget to hit the Submit to Score button. It is important to know that the submit turns to submit to score once all information is entered for each part. The core assessment, and the self-help social emotional scales. Make sure users click submit to score, otherwise it appears that the student has not been screened. Keep the new data update in mind to avoid data inaccuracies. Districts should not submit the self-help and social emotional skills data in OMS if there is no core screen data being entered for that student. You will need to enter and save the self-help and social emotional skills data, but unless you have the core data, do not submit it. Let's look closely at Lucy's profile. When I look at this, I can see that Lucy's core assessments are completely entered because the status is submitted. I also see that the self-help and social emotional scales are not complete. I can tell that because the status is saved. If you want to continue entering data, you will not click Enter New Screening Data. This is crossed out on the screen. Instead, you will click into the assessment as the green arrow shows and continue entering data. Or it may be that it was simply not submitted to score. A common error is duplicate entries. Duplicate entries must be removed from the OMS in order for the data to be accurate. Not removing duplicate entries impacts the results of group screening data. You can follow the link on the bottom of this slide or visit our Kscreen webpage to find guidance on how to remove duplicate entries. This is the ultimate end result for each student profile. Submitted on each section indicates the data is complete. Nothing is missing. And each one has been submitted. Screened, not screened report is perfect for checking whether a child has saved data that hasn't been submitted, but be aware that it will say submitted even if the self-help social emotional data is missing. This looks at the core assessment data only. We spoke about the importance of clicking Submit to Score. You want the pie chart to be all green. You should not have any blue unless you are still entering data. At the end of your data entry window, there should be no blue. If you do have data that is saved but not submitted, you can look for specific students by exporting the report as a CSV file and filtering the screening status column for saved. Or you can scroll through the list provided under the pie chart. As you can see, the saved will be included in the list. Simply open that student's screen and submit for scoring. It is really important to utilize the CSV file. Exporting this group screening summary report as a CSV is the only way to check for duplicate entries and missing self-help social emotional data. With duplicate entries, when running the report, uncheck the box that says to include only the most recent. Sort the SSID column numerically and set a rule to highlight duplicates. For missing self-help, help, and social emotional data, when running the report, make sure the box is checked to include only the most recent. Set filters and check for blanks in the column where the self-help, social emotional scores should be. Please communicate this to your schools. Your OMS account might look perfect in early August, but I wouldn't count on it being operational. There are often issues that need to be resolved before student data can be entered. KDE will communicate when the OMS is ready to be used. This is important to know if you are screening with tablets or iPads. Also, in the past, some schools have tried to get ahead by setting up a homeroom under a school administrator's name so they could screen on iPads and sort the kids into homerooms later. The kids didn't move automatically, and they had to manually move the students to correct the classes. Avoid duplicate entries by only clicking a new screening session one time. Run reports to ensure all data is entered and submitted. Make sure that Submit to Score is clicked when all of the data is entered in order for the assessment to be considered complete. CSV files allow for filtering reports. Let's look at some resources. These are important resources for the district K-Screen contact administrators to review and communicate with the appropriate people, such as those administering screens in the classroom, principals, Infinite Campus district contact, data entry staff, and your DACs or VACs. These videos are important for viewing in order to familiarize yourself with the OMS. These go beyond the highlights I have provided. I have included some in the following clips for you to share in your district trainings. Remember, these slides can be used in full or in part for your 3-hour new screen training and the refresher you provide to trained staff. All are great for district trainings, but the common pitfalls video, part 10, is required. For the 3-hour district training, I would recommend part 3, part 4, part 6, and of course, part 10. You can find training videos on the Kentucky Brigance webpage. To help you keep everything straight, in addition to the implementation guide, there is a special website just for you, www.brigance.com/Kentucky. Yes, you must spell out Kentucky. At the bottom, click on the Training Information Page link. Here's where you will access the OMS training video link. This is a slide to help guide you in developing your own trainings for the upcoming school year. The K-Screen implementation has several requirements at different times of the year, different places to enter data, etc. While it's not a difficult process, there is a lot to it. So that being said, I've broken it down into what needs to be completed in the upcoming weeks. Take a moment to review this information. Now comes the next steps. Once you have completed what is on the previous slide, use this slide as a resource for what comes next. Again, use all the resources that are available to help you navigate the year. I think it is important to know that you should share the results with families. We pull the data to report school readiness, and it is included in your district open house data found on the KDE website. Kindergarten screen data prior to 2017 is available in the supplemental data section of Open House. Simply click on Kindergarten Readiness. Kindergarten screen data from 2017 to present can be found on the Kentucky School Report Card. Thank you for joining us today. If you have any questions, please reach out to me and I will be more than happy to help you. I would like to ask for you to remain on the live stream. We will be conducting a question and answer session with Curriculum Associates. Thanks and have a great day.